now we're dealing with quadratic equations. Again, they've been very nice to graph the first part for you, right? What does, what you might have been asked to do in A is in A, this same question could have been graph y equals the square root of, well, what's this equation? This equation is a regular parabola moved 3 to the right, x minus 3 squared, and then moved 4 down. So you could have had this equation asked this way. Can you graph the square root of x minus 3 squared minus 4? Step 1 would be to graph the inside. So this inside in red is just the graph of x minus 3 squared minus 4, a parabola moved 3 to the right, 4 down. Then, once you've graphed that original function, we start by graphing nice points. Square root of 0 is 0. Square root of 1 is 1. So you go where your y values are 1, just go straight across, mark those points. Square root of 4 is 2. So where's 4 on a graph? Well, it's right there and right there. So straight down, that's where it would be 2. Straight down, that's where it would be 2. So step 1, do a bunch of nice points. Step 2 and 3, wherever the y values are between 0 and 1, here it has to be slightly above. And this is one where you are just barely going to be able to go slightly above. And then after that, below. Why is there nothing between 1 and 5? Because the original graph is negative. You can't take the square root of a negative. So for this one, it says state the domain and range. Your domain is, and I'll write it in 2 different ways, x is less than or equal to 1, or x is bigger than or equal to 5. And you have to use the word or to show that it could be in one place or the other. The other way that you show this in interval notation, this part would go from negative infinity to 1. This part would go from 5 to infinity. And instead of the word or in interval notation, you use the union sign. Now for part B, same idea. They've already graphed the parabola for you. Okay, nice points. 0. Do we have 1? Yes. Those are the key ones. Anywhere where it's 4, sure, straight down. Here, I'll even label it in red. This is where it's 4. This is where it's 4 for y values. Go straight down. Square root of 4 is 2. Do we have another nice point? Yes. Square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. Between 0 and 1 here has to be slightly above. In this case, there's almost no room to be slightly above. You almost draw it straight on top of it. And the rest has to be below, but if you just connect the dots, you'll have everything there. Domain? Well, you could either say that your x values are between negative 3 and 3. Wow. Impressive. So you could write that like this. X is less than or x is between negative 3 and 3. In interval notation, oh, I never did the range for the last one. I'll do that in a second. Interval notation, you would write this from -3 to 3 with square brackets. For the first one, we never did the range. The range starts at 0. It's bigger than or equal to 0 and goes up forever. In interval notation, you could write the range from 0 to infinity. Again, a square bracket keeps that value included. For the second one, the range. In set notation, your range goes from 0 to 3. So your y value is between 0 and 3. And in interval notation, square brackets, because both of them are included. Can you see that the idea for a parabola was exactly the same as the idea for a line? You look for 0 and 1. Okay? The only thing that wasn't included here, I wonder if it's included on the example to the side here. No, they didn't do any of them. I will just make one up for you, just so that you can see another possibility. What if what happens if your original parabola looked like this? You have no y values that are 0, so you can't plot them. Do you have any y values that are 1? No, can't plot them. Do we have any other nice points? Yes. We have a y value that's 4. What's going to happen to that y value of 4? It's going to become 2. Do you have any values where your y values are between 0 and 1? No. Everything is bigger than 1, so this graph is always below. Feels a little weird. But eventually there would be another point somewhere here that had something comma 9, and you would go down, and that's where it would be something comma 3. So it would increase, but you still follow the same rules. Okay, one for practice. Question number 8.